I'm here in front of Indian Embassy today to demonstrate against corruption in India, to support the anti-corruption movement that is going on in India right now, support Anna Hazare and his Jan Lokpal bill. So there are a bunch of professional students gathered from all parts of Netherlands, especially come here today in Hague to protest against. They started protesting one day and they said that we want a Jan Lokpal bill, we want anti-corruption bill. Now this bill was pending in Indian Parliament for almost 4 decades and it was never being passed. The reason it was not being passed is because a lot of political clout would come under it because they're already corrupt. So they would never let this bill come. Now this man called Anna Hazare, he went on the streets and he said, look, I want an anti-corruption bill. The government went to him and said, come, we'll have a joint committee and we'll formulate a bill. But when they sat together and wanted to form a bill, they ended up with grave differences. The difference is in terms of the number of bureaucrats includes, like the government bureaucrats, only 0.5% of the government bureaucrats are included in the government bill. The judges are exempted. The conduct of MPs, the member of parliaments, inside the parliament is not accounted for in the bill of the government. Also, a person who has held a charge against official or a government person can be prosecuted, or an FIR can be launched against him if he is proven wrong. Okay, so this is something very serious. Like if I today go and say, look, this official is corrupt and I might not find evidence, then they can come back to me with the same mechanism and they can prosecute me. So this is not a bill to actually stop corruption. They are actually trying to promote, the same thing that has been going on for so many years. It's about expressing and telling the democratic government, which is still a democratic government sitting in India, that even the expat communities, and we call the brains of India, okay, we are here and we are supporting the cause. And yes, it does matter to the Indian government. Once they know what we think about it, it does create a soft pressure on them that the public sentiment, the public consent is with Anna Hazare, and that's what forces them to think. Otherwise, they would just brutally suppress these movements if they don't get the public support. We requested the officials here to come and formally accept the letter from us, but I'm sure for political reasons they cannot overtly support what we are doing and they cannot formally accept the letter we are handing them over. We expected that they would help us. They would appreciate what we are doing. I mean, if not appreciate, I mean, at least fulfill the duty that they have to come out and accept a letter. I think that's what, as citizens, we deserve. If our money goes into the right pockets, if it reaches the right people, we have a lot of money flowing into India. We don't have a shortage of funds. We don't have shortage of schemes on paper, but that needs to be implemented. And the distance between the implementation and the execution is the corruption, right? And if that ends, a lot of things would change. A lot of things would change. I mean, the daily frustration of lives, of getting artwork done, to the education of children, to the issues of farmers. These are all issues about corruption, right? Things are not happening in place. So yeah, the things would start bettering by decades, and in few years, I think this bill would help India a lot.
I think the issue of corruption starts from the fact that every one of us wants to make our lives simple because you have this whole red tape and bureaucracy that you have to sort of bribe every person and then get things done. But then if every one of us just decides that now we are not going to bribe anyone, grease the palm of anyone, then it will be a sort of a protocol in society.